The two kids Caesar taught magic to were Lyney and Lynette or not?
Behold!
Not this time. My brother's going solo, so I'll be watching with you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody's ready because the show is about to begin. The great magician Lyney has prepared a spectacular show for us all.
Wow!
Thank you all so much for coming. Now, prepare to join me on a journey through the...
Exciting stuff, isn't it?
Yes, it's just...
No wonder. So, how did...
Well, I was out. Children love magic because they're willing to believe in things that can't be rationally... And somehow, I felt drawn to him too.
Aw, that sounds...
It was with a flower. He took... I was so...
Oh, that's so cute!
Is that right? Then, after all, you never know when the people...
That's right. Paimon doesn't really...
Right. Yes, you can breathe easy now.
See? Even Lynette says... The Phantom Weasel? Lorenzo escaped? Where is he?
What do you mean,
As Lyney once said, a performer's job is to commit fully to their role, but once the bag of tricks is empty and the curtain falls, it's time. It's been 10 years, Gemma. Aren't you tired of the grieving?
What are you talking about? Traveler, Paimon doesn't like where this is going.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope there will now be a brief intermission, after which the final performance will take place outside of the Opera House.
The Phantom Weasel never did like public places. Don't worry, this place will be quiet.
Dear me, this is awkward, isn't it? And unfortunately, I'm all out of gadgets, so I'm afraid I can't. This is a big mistake for a magician to make. But
Lyney? Lynette accused Gemma of being the real Phantom Weasel.
all in good time. Magicians are good at guessing what people are.
Really? Well then, let's hear it.
Let's go to the very beginning. A decade ago, when the Phantom Weasel... But as her infamy grew, so did the readiness of the police. Opportunities to act. Of course, she could not simply take this lying down, and before long, after weighing her options, she set her sights on a renowned magician.
So...
Being the master deceiver she was, the weasel easily earned Caesar's trust. Now, but as she was considering how to make her move, she noticed Caesar's aggrieved At her encouragement, Lorenzo tampered with Caesar's magic. Afterwards, Lorenzo seized his master's property, and the weasel set about tarnishing Caesar's reputation. Two co-conspirators committed the perfect crime.
I've got to hand it to you, but I just have one question.
Don't worry, Lorenzo's, but I never believed that he was the weasel, and in fact, my investigation only made me more certain of that.
How disappointing. So you'd sooner Lorenzo than me, even without a shred of evidence?
A magician is an expert at playing the audience to get the result they want. With a little help from Lorenzo, you put on a very convincing performance. Caesar was maligned and hated by all for who would suspect for 1 second that the lovely young lady—
Wait, so you mean the whole intimidation thing was... But why would Lorenzo agree to that? And why didn't he...
Yes, why indeed? Maybe Gemma herself could enlighten us on that question.
Well, Lyney, if you're so confident having killed Caesar with his own hands, Lorenzo was plagued by overwhelming guilt. Revealing the Phantom Weasel's true identity would serve no purpose. But if the weasel—
An excellent answer.
Is that right?
As a matter of fact, why would the real weasel have targeted things that only have value?
Of course. After all, if I had to guess, left to fend for herself after her parents died young, she'd scrounge waste paper from garbage bins to draw on. Using twigs and dirt, this was her only source of happiness in life. But it was all she— Once again, she was betrayed. And this time, everything was taken from her. This was a fate too cruel for anyone to bear. I detest the happiness of others. I will rob them of everything they hold to be good and—
That's some pretty...
Now does this story satisfy—
Yes, it is quite to my tastes. Thank you for helping to clear—
That's right, because without that, none of this would have ever come...
She didn't write the letter.
After 10 long years, I'd hoped that the Phantom Weasel would be consigned to the history, Lyney. Or should I call you the Phantom Copycat now?
Very sharp, Phantom Weasel. Still as well, no need for me to be coy about it. Our goal, with the most straightforward way to change the public's impression of Caesar, was to force the weasel to show themselves.
That's it?
Of course we did. We made it quite clear in the letter, I believe.
10 years ago? Wait. Oh, he taught you magic back then, didn't he? For what?
We remember all our debts. However, 10 years ago, Caesar's reputation was torn to shreds, and his legacy was— But we did not forget.
And? What exactly did you take—
Free? Caesar once told me that even though the world is filled— I think that applies to you too. Truth can take many forms. Life took many things from you, and those wounds never healed.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying that for the last 10 years, you've been living a rather uneventful life. Back to Lorenzo for a second. He knew who you were and the things you'd done, and despite that, you're more than just accomplices in murder. You're the only real friends each other has. So but that truth is gone now. And I guarantee you.
Congratulations on your freedom, Gemma.
Your freedom will cost you dearly. From now on, you'll be all alone.
Gather round, one and all. The time has now. I'm sure you're all wondering what he has planned.
A high-altitude escape?
I'm sure you all remember the magician Caesar, but we have now learned that Caesar was wrongly accused.
Guess that's my cue to leave. Whew, Traveler, Paimon, I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. There may be a lot of people watching tonight, but you alone.
Lyney, wait. You two hid a lot from Caesar. He went to his grave without ever knowing You don't have to tell lies to end up isolated and alone.
You're wrong. I'm nothing like you.
Like Lyney said, when you're ready, let's head outside.
But what about Gemma?
She'll figure out what's best for her soon enough. Oh,
All right. Well, let's go and watch Lyney's...
magicians are not like thieves, only things apart.
Sometimes I think I'm like a
The wind rises.
Magic should be mysterious, surprising, and defy logic. Magic is hard work. Every single movement has to be practiced thousands of times.
It's alright. We're used to that.
We're sorry. You've taught us so much, but we can't tell you the whole truth.
It's okay. Do you still remember what I told you? This world is full of lies and falsehoods. I only hope that one day you can find your own truth.
What about you? Have you found your truth?
Magic is my truth. I want to perform a magic trick so great that people will always think of me when they talk about it. For a magician, what greater honor could there be?
Look! Behold! Lyney is sealed inside the box. Will he manage to escape? 10 years ago, Caesar attempted this very trick, and it was at this precise moment that...
Watch out!
Mysterious. Surprising. And logic-defying. Isn't that right? This honor belongs to you, Caesar. I'm just sorry it's a little late.
Did you see that? 1 minute he was falling, and the next, he turned into flowers.
How could he possibly have done that?
How mysterious. I didn't...
What a heart-stopping magic show! This was Caesar's name has finally been cleared, and Fontaine's new star magician Lyney has fulfilled a wish. Looks like everyone really loved Lyney's grand finale. Paimon doesn't see Lyney anywhere. Oh, Lynette said he'd be waiting for us at the usual hunt. But, oh, you mean the one where Caesar? Yeah, that's probably it. This whole magic show... All right, let's look for him there.
fury. The wind rises.
Are you alright? Paimon was scared to death when the chain broke.
Magic is a performance art. A magician has to get creative to keep the audience on tenterhooks. That's our job. So I tweaked Caesar. I was honestly a little nervous during the live performance. Sometimes, I can't help it. Did he regret taking Gemma and Lorenzo on?
You know, Paimon's been wanting to ask you about something
After I joined the House of the Hearth. To be honest, I told you about my past before, remember? As a young boy, but I quickly realized that observation alone could only get me so I needed to learn how to improve my sleight of hand. We were gifted enough that we'd made some progress by ourselves.
So that's why you sought Caesar out?
Yes. We figured there was no harm in asking. In all, we only spent 10 short days together, but he was very good to us. For instance, when he asked why I wanted to learn magic, but in truth, there was already a lot more to the story by then. What amazed me was how the lie escaped my lips. Trust is a beautiful thing.
Lyney.
Still worried about the way I feel? But don't worry, I'm used to it now. From the mansions of the elite to the house of the... After Caesar went on tour, we became busy with our missions. The next we heard of him was that that night, I remembered his smile. To keep secrets is to put up walls. The longer you keep them up, the less you only realize how much someone really meant to you when you lose them completely.
Yeah, we've had to say our fair share of goodbyes. Delicious food, fun toys, and traveler. Doesn't that kind of...
Exactly. It's the same for me and Lynette. Life has taken plenty from us, like it did from Gemma. But that's why the darkness never consumed me and why it never will. Maybe we live in the shadows too. All right. Time to lighten this conversation.
It was amazing! I just wish, Lyney.
Whoa, that's a bit of a tall order, I'm afraid. The show's just finished, so my sleeves are decided.
Aw, come on! Surely you can...
Oh, all right then. I'll give it a... Watch closely. I have a flower in my hand.
You liar! There's nothing in your...
Huh? My goodness, you're right.
3, 2, 1.
Now, have another look around.
Really? Let's see. Wow, there it is! Oh, this is, but more importantly,
Well, if you want to learn magic, you'll have to...
Fine! Please, teacher, please!
Since you asked so nicely, I'll share one little tip with you.
Is that it?
Look at the time. We shouldn't linger here too long. Thanks again for coming to see my show. I bid you both good night. I look forward to seeing you again.
All right, fine. See ya. Shall we head back down too? Oh, Paimon can't wait to read the Steambird tomorrow. Let's head to the Steambird's offices tomorrow.
I'm very sorry, Charlotte, but my sister and I...
Oh, please, Lyney, I'll only take a moment.
Huh? What's happening here?
I spent all night writing my piece about the Phantom Weasel, but just as dawn broke, I suddenly received news that...
That was quick.
Too late, bro.
That was quick, you say? Aha! My instincts did not lead me astray.
Maybe watching my high-altitude escape trick reminded her of a better time with—
Okay then. Wait, no. Oh, I remember now! You and Gemma, quickfire question! Where did you all go?
Oh, we went to the cemetery and Lyney did a private. Actually, glad you mentioned it, because that reminds.
What? I don't recall ever having received a rainbow rose from you myself.
No, I just,
What the? What
Seems like this interview wasn't meant to be. Forgive my persistence, but when there's explosive news waiting to be found, apparently one of the things she said to the guards was that her final wish is to see Lorenzo. All right, I guess I'll leave you to continue.
Lynette?
Don't worry, I wasn't angry.
Oh, really? Oh, thank you.
you and me both, Paimon.
Please, take good care of that rain. I'd be really upset if you—